You're welcome back to Business Incorporated. Now, the president of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, said that the lack of stable electricity in Nigeria is killing industries in the country. He based his comment on a report by International Monetary Fund, which indicates that about $29 billion is lost annually due to poor power supply. With 200 trillion cubic gas reserves, Nigeria should leverage on the potential for gas to play a big role in the energy sector. Well, let's talk to the managing director of Asiko Energy Holdings Limited, Mr. Felix Ekundayo, on some alternatives which businesses should or have already started embracing. Hello, Mr. Ekundayo. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here with you.
Good to have you. So the IMF places annual loss due to power supply challenges at $29 billion. For you, does this capture it?
I believe it does. I think what they are reflecting is just a numerical representation of what we all feel. Generally, in terms of personal, electrical supply, in terms of industrial, in terms of commercial, even in the healthcare sector, there is what one might call a power emergency in terms of an inadequate level of power supply to most of these critical sectors in the economy. So yes, I can well agree that the aggregate loss to the country is around those figures.
All right, so Dr. Adesina also talked about the abnormal becoming the normal. So talking about alternative now, we talk a lot about the potentials that we have. The gas sector is also one area where we say we have a lot of potential. What solutions do you see lying fallow in the gas sector when it comes to the issue of power supply?
With regards to how the gas and power sectors are intertwined, it is in terms of historically that they can be treated as different parts of the economy and strength. The power was totally separate from gas. It's the only time there was an attempt to harmonize this was under the Obasanjo regime, where there was a Ministry of Energy and such. The challenge is that it means that you have different ministries pulling in different directions. So developments one might not necessarily be backed by provisions or strategic planning for the other. In any event, to answer directly the question you just answered, which is how can the gas sector play? There are two aspects. There's the issue of more reliable pipeline natural gas supply by pipeline to our existing facilities. But this is the line we have told for quite a number of years. Whilst there are challenges in terms of how that power, the central distribution of power, is being handled, which we don't see any side of those challenges yet. The second aspect of how do these problems get tackled would be in terms of distributed power, embedded power, captive power. And each one of those has its own separate and distinct meanings. Distributed power means really we're not relying on a large national transmission grid as viewers see. But we are relying on much more compact grids which serve localities, communities, estates, business and industrial estates. Those kind of distributed and captive arrangements, which is what my company specializes in, are beginning to come to the fore as consumers get very frustrated with waiting for a national grid solution. It doesn't mean that the two cannot work together. They can actually work in.
All right, Mr. Ekundayo, Mr. Felix Ekundayo, Managing Director of Asiko Energy Holdings Limited. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us this afternoon.